Hi, lovely one. I welcome you to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Johnson Praise, and I'm so excited to walk you through session 3 of UGRC 210 today, which is UGRC, which is academic writing 2, right? Last week we were able to go through session 2, which is how to make notes and how to take notes, and I believe you really enjoyed that one. So if you couldn't watch that video, it is available, so you can search it and then watch it. I think it's going to guide you, it's going to help you a lot. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel too, I will entreat you to kindly do that. Subscribe and then share it with your friends. Just click on the subscribe button to subscribe and then share it with your friends. So today we are coming to look at how to summarize, that is summary writing. Okay, how to summarize a text or how to summarize a book. It is very important. Some of us will be thinking it is very difficult, but summary is it's not difficult as you think. If you understand the concept very well, I don't think you will struggle in doing summary. And as I've already said, this time around I'm not going to do video on all the sessions. You see, I skipped session 1 and I was able to bring you video on session 2, so I'm going to do video for session 3, session 4, because it's likely you are going to meet these things in your exams, and it's going to be practical. They will give you an essay and ask you to summarize it. So it is very important that you know how to summarize some of these tests. Okay, when they give you a test to summarize, you don't struggle to do that. So today we are coming to look at all these things, and I believe at the end of the video you will benefit a lot from this discussion too. So please, as I said, if you haven't subscribed, just click on the subscribe button and then share it also with your friends so they can also benefit from it. So when we talk of summary, what is summary? So summary is a shortened passage which retains the essential information of the original. Okay, it's a shortened passage which retains the essential information of the original. Assuming you have been given a book or a text to summarize. I mean, in summarizing these things, you have to it just the abridged version. Okay, the shortened passage. Okay, so when you try to create something from the existing passage by maintaining the essential details, then that's what we call summary. Okay, summary doesn't mean just you making it simple. Okay, it is part, but you need to maintain the essential details. You can't summarize things. You can't summarize a text without by leaving the essential details there. It will become incomplete. So at the end of the day, you get to know what a summary means. And another definition is a brief restatement in your own words of content of a passage. So restatement, when you talk of restatement in your own words, means that you've been given a text and they've asked you to restate it in your own word. If something, assuming an accident happened in your presence, and they ask you to state it in a brief way, even though there might be several occurrences, but when they ask you to summarize it, they want to know how the car crashed, okay, or how come the accident happened. So in summarizing it, you forget about the essential, the irrelevant things. Okay, the irrelevant things are maybe people that were out there talking, and those things. It could be essential, it could be also irrelevant. If it has nothing to do with the accident, it is not important. But the things that actually caused the accident, that is. So if you are asked to summarize this thing or a test on things like this, you capture the important details. Assuming you have attended a 5 hours meeting in a church meeting, they ask you to come and tell the members what your experience or what what you guys discussed there. You can't come out and see everything. People that were sleeping, you can't see all these things there. Okay, so it requires what summary, and you must what capture the important things, the most important things you discuss, maybe about the church finance, the new agendas, the agendas you brought on board, agenda that you brought on board. Okay, you discuss a new agenda, you bring some of these things, the important details, you bring it in your own words. If you have been given a test to summarize, you don't write the whole thing that is written for you and you assume that you've what summarize it, or maybe change one or two words and you think you have summarized it. You have to what restate it in your own what hide your own word. Okay, that's why we say a brief restatement. So it means that every summary must be what? Be brief. Every summary must what? Be brief, and it must be in your own words. It's not someone's word or something from any app or whatever. Something that you have what? Written that you cannot. If they ask you to explain, you can explain. You don't write something or go and copy something from the net, and then if they ask you to explain, you can't justify the things that you wrote, but it must be your own words. And then a condensed, another definition says that a condensed version of an original or text. When you say something has been condensed, when you put things together, let me give you a typical example. If we say the Bible, the Ten Commandments has been condensed into two, which is what? Love your neighbor as yourself, and then do not have any God apart from me. So if I say the law, the Ten Commandments has been condensed into two, it means that they have what? We have, we've been able to what? Make it like bring them together, or form them. That is what the word condense. Okay, we have been able to what? Put them together. So that is all about it. So if I say it has been condensed into two, it means that all the 10, the other one, if you can find it in the two laws that I've already stated. Okay, let's say they say one of the laws state that. Let me highlight things well so you understand what a summary means. Okay, the 10 Commandments. I'm summarizing all of them by using two words. I said, okay, the 10 Commandments means love God with all your heart, your soul, and your body, and then love your neighbor as yourself. Okay, so with these ones, if you ask me, I can explain to you. The other 8 commandments. I can find all of them in these 2 commandments that I've already spoken about. Okay, if you love your neighbor as yourself, will you kill him? No, you won't kill him. And one of the laws says that do not kill, thou shalt not kill. So it means that it is part of it. If you love your neighbor, will you steal? One of the commandments says that thou shalt not steal. You get it? So at the end of the day, if you want to find all the important details about the 10 commandments, you find them in the 2 things that I've mentioned. Love your neighbor as yourself, and also what? Love God with your heart. Because if you love God, will you have any other God apart from God? No, you don't have any other God. And one of the commandments says that love God with what? Do not have any other God apart from me. So you get the whole thing. So it has been condensed into 2. It means that I've what? Summarized all of them into 2. So that is how it is. Yes, that is how it is. So a short view of the main points of an article or other sources written entirely in one's own words. So pay attention to this. In what? One's own word. It should be your original word. Don't use app or whatever a website to do your summaries. Write it in your own word. If you go to the examination or then they ask you, you should be able to do it. These things, they will come in your exam. They will give you a very long passage and ask you to summarize it. So you must understand whatever we are teaching you here. That is it. And to summarize is to condense a text into 8 main points, and and to do so in your own words. So I've already explained it. So it must be in your own words. So why do we summarize? Why do we summarize? So we summarize to what? To explain an idea. If you, like I said, you go to church, you attend church meetings for like 5-hour meeting at church, and they ask you to come and give or tell the people, the members, the congregants, whatever that you guys discuss. Here you require what? A summary. You can't say everything. So when you want to explain an idea, you use summary. Or an accident occurred in your presence, and they ask you to what? To come and see something about it, or maybe someone killed someone in your presence, and they call you before the law court to come and maybe explain. You can't say everything that you saw, especially birds that were flying at that moment. You can't, the sound and other things. These things are irrelevant. So you find a way to explain it by capturing the important details. Some people normally talk at the end of the day, and they leave the important details, the important things in their summaries. It is not the best thing. If you want to summarize a thing, focus on the important idea. They can give you so many long passage, about 3 pages, and they ask you to summarize. You don't need to, you just have to. I'll teach you the steps in summarizing things, so you get to know them. Okay, so another reason why we summarize is to provide an overview of an extended piece of writing. So to provide an overview, when we talk of an overview, we are talking of a general idea about it. Let's take a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, and if I tell you to give me an overview of Rich Dad Poor Dad, or I am trying to tell you to summarize, or maybe tell me whatever that you've learned from that book. You get a point. So in a short manner, that is it. And also to capture information from various sources to be used for an essay. So that is also one of the reasons. So let's look at the features of a good summary. The features of a good summary. So we must know all these things. The features of a good summary, it should be readable, unified, whole. Okay, it should be readable. If one of the features of summary is that it should be readable, it should be unified. Okay, so now let's look at it. So the features are brevity, accuracy, and objectivity. So we'll delve more into these 3 features of a good summary, and then at the end of the day, you know whether a certain summary is good or bad. Okay, if someone summarizes something for you, you should be able to identify whether it is a good summary or a bad summary, and you use these features to identify them. The features serves as a benchmark. Okay, they serve as a benchmark for measuring every good summary. So we must delve more into it. So when you talk of the brevity, it's talking about how brief the sentence is. Okay, the brevity talks about how brief or simple it is. Okay, so it talks it means that it says that the slide says that the brevity is the quality of being short or brief. As I've already said, it should be brief. If you are summarizing something, focus on making it brief, simple, and short. Okay, and one of the things we should also notice is that usually a good summary is about a third of a quarter of the original text. Okay, so when they give you 1/3, if they give you a full page, okay, they give you, let's say, if they give you 4 pages and they ask you to summarize, at least your summary should be 1 page. You shouldn't summarize. Your summary shouldn't be more than 1 page. That is what we are trying to tell you. So it should be brief. And it being brief doesn't mean you should leave the essential part. No, you should capture the important information, but focus on making it brief, simple, and then short. and then it should be shortened. Okay, the length of a summarized text is the first visual quality. So if I write 5 pages for you and you write 5 pages for me, you have not summarized it. It is what? Can say paraphrase it. If paraphrase it, it's not summary. If I write 5 pages for you and I ask you to summarize them, at least I'm expecting like 1.5 page summary from you. 1.5. The maximum should be 2 pages. It shouldn't be more than 2 pages. Yes, that is if it contains a lot of important information. It shouldn't be more than 2 pages. Okay, or even if it is 10 pages, it shouldn't be more. The summary shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 pages. That is what we are trying to say. And then one of the features of a good summary is accuracy. When you talk of accuracy, okay, it should be what? Accurate. It should be accurate. When you talk of accuracy, it means that accuracy refers to the sameness of the message or the ideas of a text in spite of its brevity. It being the fact that your message is simple doesn't mean that you should leave the important details out. Okay, it should be the same thing. It should talk about the same idea. That's what we are talking. That's why it says that the sameness of the message, okay, should be accurate. Whatever that you provide, if it's talking about the corrupt act of some Ghanaians, and it mentions of 3 things or 3 areas or 3 institutions that are very corrupt. You can't mention 2 institutions. You can't mention, let's say, like Ghana here. When you are talking about corrupt institution, you can't you leave GRA out. You can't leave Ghana Police out. You can't leave the presidency out. So let's say like these are the 3 institutions. So when you talk about presidency and then Ghana Revenue and leave the Ghana Police out, you didn't achieve accuracy. So okay, but you must capture these 3 things, and the information, the idea that you present in your summary, even if the person is not able to read the full text, it should be after reading the summary, he should be able to know what the whole book is talking about by capturing the important information in the text. That is it. So in other words, though the passage has been reduced in terms of its quantity, the intended message should be maintained. Pay attention. Even though the passage has been reduced in terms of its quantity, the quantity has been reduced. Yes, it was 5 pages. We have reduced it to 1 page. But the intended message should be maintained. The main idea should be maintained. We learned about the paragraph. The paragraph development, how to develop paragraphs. You know them, and then yes. So you know about all these things: paragraph development, your topic sentence, your supporting sentence, your major supporting sentence, this is your concluding paragraphs. All these things, you know all of them. Okay. So when you are summarizing a passage, you should focus on these things. Okay, this is your topic sentence. Your topic sentence should be captured. Your minor supporting sentences. Okay, I'm talking about the effect of school dropout, and I talk about let's say like social media. Social media. So when I talk about social media, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is the whole thing, the information, every information that I need to present must be maintained there. Okay, it must be maintained, and that is what I'm trying to say. Even though you may have just 1 page, but the ideas must be maintained. So if I pick my topic sentences, like what I was trying to explain, my topic sentence is school dropout. Okay, the school dropout. One of my minor supporting sentences is social media. Then I talk of the economic situation of Ghana, and maybe I buttress my point with relationship. Okay, I talk about these three things in the sentence, even though I may bring other things, but these are the main things I'm talking about. If you know how to draw an outline, it is easy to give write a very nice summary. If you know how to draw an outline, it is very easy when writing. When you are also writing a summary, it is very easy for you because you know the structure, you know how to go about it. So when you are reading, you pay attention to the major, the minor supporting sentences, your topic sentences, concluding sentences. Then you highlight all those things. So when you are writing, you include everything in it, and that is all. You are done. And then a summary should contain only the source's idea and nothing more. Simple report back what the writer has said. Okay, here you don't say or you don't say things based on your emotions or how you see. Assuming we are talking about University of Ghana student being bad student. The fact that you're University of Ghana student and they ask you to paraphrase it, this is not where you are going to justify that University of Ghana students are good. You don't bring your emotion in when you are out summarizing a text. You write whatever it is the writer has be able to write. Okay, the writer's idea should be maintained. You don't bring your ideas in it, and it should also be faithful. It should be faithful reproduction of the original. So whatever the person spoke about, you should do that. And then the last feature of a good summary is objectivity. When you talk of objectivity, I've already even explained part of it, that you shouldn't bring this your judgment. Okay, you should not make value judgment nor expression of your opinion. When you are writing summaries, you shouldn't bring your emotions in whatever that you write. You write whatever, you communicate whatever the writer aims to communicate. That is what you should write, and you should also not interpret the information in its original context. And the fact that we said you should communicate whatever the writer aims to communicate or aims to bring about. That doesn't mean that you should write everything that the person has written for you. You should write everything just like that. You should be able to find a way to communicate it in a way that it will be original in your own words. You understand it, so you use your own words to write it. Simple. So that is all about a summary. So now let's look at the steps in writing a summary. First, preview of the text. So you have to preview the text and find the general theme. Okay, when you talk of the preview, you have to review or evaluate it. Okay, and then the second one is to read the text carefully to understand it. Let me give you this tip. Okay, this is what my GHS English teacher taught me. He said, anytime you are giving an essay to summarize, first of all, you have to read the whole text from Genesis to Revelation, from the beginning of the text to the end. First reading, and then you do second reading if you have time. Okay, but with the second reading, when after reading the first reading, when you are doing the second reading, you pay attention to the vital information over there, then you underline them whilst you are doing your second reading, because the first reading gives you the overview, or it helps you to preview the information or the text. So whilst you are doing your second reading, then you begin to underline the important text over there. You get the point. The same thing if you are doing a comprehension. They give you a comprehension. They ask you. So with that one, when you are doing the comprehension, you read the first one. You don't read the questions. But when you are doing your second reading, you read the questions that they are asking you. Then you come and do your third reading. So the third reading is where you underline the important information. But if you are a smart student, these things you don't need to follow this. But we, the slow students, have to follow these steps in order to capture the important information with the slow learners. That's what I would say. So that is it. So, and also you have to read the text carefully to understand it well. Understanding is part of the game. Last year, when you guys went to write the exams, a lot of your colleagues came back complaining, say, I didn't understand some of the concepts very well. It's not, sometimes it's not because you didn't understand it, it's because you don't read well. It's because you don't read it. We have in the first semester academic writing one, we learned how to scheme a test, how to scan a test, and how to scheming, scanning, and what there's one of the method that we use in reading a test. So there are three methods. So whenever you are reading, you pay attention to details, and after doing your first and second reading, you should be able to understand it. So pay attention, and you need to read well. Some of you, the moment you pick the book and you be glancing through, you scan it. You don't read. You don't do extensive reading. You don't do extensive reading. So you only scan it, and at the end of the day, you blame someone for you blame the lecturers that they didn't help you or they gave you difficult questions, but because the things you learned, you didn't apply them. So if you have forgotten about it, go back to academic writing one. I have the videos there. You can check my old videos. They are there. Then you watch them. And also, you have to divide the text into sections. Divide them after reading them. Okay. The developmental paragraph, you know what a developmental paragraph is. If you don't know a developmental paragraph, you look at the paragraphs. You take them paragraph by paragraph. Okay, paragraph 1, which one is my topic sentence? Okay, which one is my topic sentence? Okay, Accra is a big city. Okay, Accra is a big city. Then that is my topic sentence. Then you read, you begin to identify the supporting sentences. Okay. Let's say like it mentions 3 big cities in Accra, which is Tema, East Legon, and then this place, what is, let's say like Kaneshi. Okay, so it mentions 3 cities, and then the people, the population, and everything. So you must capture these 3 cities. Each of them. It depends on how they will mention them. Okay, it depends on how they present them. If they present them, they bring the cities and explain the people over there, their lifestyle. You know that Tema is part of it is a supporting sentence. You take East Legon, it's also a supporting sentence, and then Kaneshi is also a supporting sentence. So at the end of the day, you look at it. If it has provided another supporting sentence or any important details that you can't leave it out, then you highlight those ones. So it will help you. So when you are done with the first paragraph, you go to second paragraph. Then you look at the important information there. It applies to each and every paragraph. Okay, so when you do this, that's where we say divide the text. So after that, you look at it. This information that I wrote, all these things that I wrote down, can I eliminate some of them out, and I'll still get the main information, or what the writer intends to communicate? Can I still eliminate some of the things that I wrote down, and I'll still get the original idea? If it is yes, why not? You can do that. It is summary. So that is the way you divide them, and now understand the important part. So you know the important part. That is one of the fourth step. And then the fifth step is that you write one sentence and summarize for each section. Okay, so you write a sentence and then you summarize for it. So that is the whole thing. And you have to also what? Formulate a thesis statement from the general theme. That's why I told you, so the general statement, there must be a thesis statement, a general thesis statement for it. The whole book that you read, what was it talking about? Is it talking about corruption in Africa? Is it talking about teenage pregnancy? Is it talking about fake pastors? Is that what the book is talking about? So if it is talking about fake pastor, what other supporting sentences can you get from the passage to support the main idea? You get it? So it is simple. You have gotten the whole idea. So if you understand this, it won't be difficult for you. So you wave the one section, sentence summaries together to write what? The first draft. So you know that. So please note this one. Write in your own words and avoid what? Plagiarism. Okay, you must what? Avoid plagiarism. So you should stop copying people's idea. Right? Use your own idea and occasionally add important supporting details if necessary. As I've already said, eliminate unnecessary words and repetitions. Eliminate them. If you have already highlighted, be able to highlight it. Don't forget about it and look for new important information. Okay, eliminate the unnecessary words and repetitions. Also, eliminate personal ideas and inferences. Okay, your personal ideas, your own ideas, things that does not add up to the writer's idea, you should eliminate it. Take it out. It is not part. You should also use transitions for smooth and logical flows of ideas. And then also conclude your draft with what? A summing up sentence. So after everything you conclude it. And then also you must what? Edit it. After writing it, you must what? Edit it. So after you are done writing your summary, you must edit it. So you edit the draft by what? Checking the following. If all the important information are included in the summary, you have to what? Ensure whether all the important information are included. If you have eliminated repetition of unnecessary details, okay, you have to also check that you have eliminated all the repetitions and the unnecessary words. You have to also check if you have eliminated your personal views and then ideas. Check all these things. If it is talking about women being cheat and you're a woman and they are saying even bad thing, the writer is saying bad things about women, you don't go and polish it. Say it as the person wanted to say, or say it as the person said it. You get the point. You don't go and see. Okay, so now let's look at this one. Okay, so now let's look at this one. I've been able to give you an example. So that is it. Example 1. So I want us to summarize this one together. Ghana is considered to be one of the more stable countries in West Africa. Since its transition to multi-party democracy in 1992, corruption exists in all branches of Ghanaian government, and there is often a lack of accountability. The corporate often enjoy impunity. The judicial and police are viewed as the most corrupt. However, the creation of the office of the Special Prosecutor has instilled new hope for Ghana's anti-corruption efforts. So this is what the example I gave. So now, how do we summarize this one? So let's look at the ways we can summarize this together. So first of all, you have to identify the keywords. So how do we identify the keywords? So identify the main points about Ghana's stability Ghana's stability, its transition to multi-party democracy, its transition to what multi-party democracy, widespread what corruption, and then establishment of the office of special prosecutor. So these are the main things we spoke about. Okay, these are the main things I wrote. I just wrote. Okay, it talks about Ghana's transition to multi-party democracy. One, second, widespread what corruption, and then the establishment of what the office of what special prosecutor. This is all about it. So since I have the idea, I can rewrite these things without even reading much or going back again. If you ask me, okay, how if you ask me to paraphrase it, or you ask me to summarize it, since I have these three ideas in my mind, I'll be able to write it, summarize it successfully. So, and then also condense information. So you have to condense them. You have to bring some information together and make them one information. Okay, things that you think you can condense them into one, you bring all of them together. So summarize key points concisely, capturing the essence of what the original statement. And also the third point is that maintain chronological order. So retain the order of events maintained in the original statement for coherence. You see, beginning I spoke about Ghana's stability, Ghana's stability and its transition towards multi-party democracy. That is the first thing. So I can, and then I spoke about widespread corruption, and then finally the establishment of the office of special prosecutor. I can't, if I start with the establishment of the office of special prosecutor, or I start with the widespread corruption, I can't achieve coherence here, because that is not the it is not in logical order. So you must start it from the top to down, how the person presented his idea. That is how you should write it. The fact that we want you to summarize it doesn't mean you should start from the middle and then end it somewhere, or start from the bottom and then end it somewhere. No, you have to it should be, you should achieve coherence how the person started it. You should try to maintain coherence, and also ensure clarity. Ensure clarity. Express the summary in a clear and straightforward manner to convey the essential information effectively. Okay, you must ensure clarity, whatever that you're writing, and make sure that it is clear, concise, and clear, and then concise. And also you should highlight contrast, emphasize the contrast between Ghana's stability and persistence of corruption, as well as the potential positive impact of the office of special prosecutor. And then so now let's summarize it. So in summary, if you ask me to summarize whatever I wrote earlier, you see, if let me reread it again. This is the example I gave. Ghana is considered to be one of the more stable countries in West Africa. Since its transition to multi-party democracy in 1992, Ghana exists in all branches. Corruption exists in all branches of Ghanaian government, and there is often lack of accountability. The corporates often enjoy impunity. The judiciary and police are viewed as the most corrupt. However, the creation of the office of the special prosecutor has instilled new hope in Ghana anti-corruption efforts. So this is the example. Now let's summarize this one. So we can summarize it by saying that Ghana's transition to multi-party democracy in 1992 is viewed as stable West African country, despite corruption existing in all government branches, particularly within the judiciary and police. The establishment of the office of special prosecutor has provided optimism for enhancing anti-corruption measures. So at the end of the day, I was able to maintain these important ideas, okay, the effort the country is making to fight against corruption, Ghana's multi-party democracy system, and then the establishment of the office of special prosecutor. So that is it. Let me give you an example to that one. When I'm done, you summarize it for me yourself. So example 2, underlining the cause of youth unemployment in Ghana includes inadequate job creation despite relatively good economic growth, poor access to and quality of education, and a mismatch in skills appropriate to what labor demands. The unemployment rate in Ghana averaged 6.6 of the past 5 years, implying an unemployed population of about 825,000 Ghanaians. Of those counted to be in labor force, unemployment linges in Ghana. This is not good. This is not good now for the future. So that is the whole thing. So when we ask you to summarize this, I mean we've done one already, so I leave this one for you. So this is the end of today's discussion. I'll bring you another video on session 4, so stay tuned. I'll upload it very soon. So after this one, make sure you subscribe and share it with your friends. I'll bring you the next video. Thank you for watching.